Good morning, Raiders. I'm Sebastian Castle, and welcome to Sebastian Castle Live. Today, we'll be talking to some lovely guests, as well as talking about some cool events we have going on. Thank you all for tuning in to watch. Let's get on it. Well, Sage, what will our arts department be painting for us today?
Well, we have things all the way from drum making to ceramics field trip all the way in Inver Groves Community College. I say they made a killing of their trip.
Coming in live today, we have a special guest, our amazing art teacher, Mr. Robert Casperson. So, Mr. Casperson, can I call you Robert? I'm going to call you Bert. So I've heard that you have this event that you run.
Sure, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No E.
No E?
In
So
bowls.
what is it?
Empty bowls. Empty bowls. A great community event. We bring in about 200, 300 people from the community. Students worked hard and made bowls. Bowls, you got it now. And students make bowls, families donate food, and we're collecting donations at the door for our Hastings Family Services and Heifer International. Yep, big fundraising event, and we donate all that money and have a community event, build community. It's a great night.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, I've also heard that you took your ceramics kids on a field trip recently.
We did, yeah. Last Friday we went to Inver Hills Fine Arts Festival, and I think you have some footage of that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
This is your brain. This is your phone. This is your brain on phone.
Welcome back. So, I'm not understanding. Why would you be supporting cows then?
Cows. Hastings Family Service and Heifer.
Heifer.
You're thinking, no, Heifer's an organization. They're all around the world. They're called Heifer because they give livestock to communities and teach them how to raise, say, a flock of chickens. And so it's a perpetuating gift, right?
Yeah.
You get it?
I get it.
Yeah.
But like, also cows.
It could be a cow, but it could be a goat. It could be chickens.
I see.
Yeah, but it could be a cow.
Could be a cow.
But it doesn't have to be a cow.
Doesn't have to be.
No, and it doesn't have to be Hastings.
So, how many goats do you think it would take to kill a gorilla?
I don't know why you're bringing Colvin into this. But we've obviously spent a lot of time delving into this in the last week here or two. I think it's 7 goats to a human and 100 humans to the gorilla, so the answer is 700.
700 goats?
700 goats.
So you're saying it's about 100 human or goats to human?
No. Goats to human, 7 to 1.
7 to 1.
Yeah.
So you think 7 goats is worth 1 human?
It's science.
It's science.
It's science.
You know?
I'm an amateur. We have lives outside of school.
That's not possible.
It's true.
It just
I have
can't
a white
be.
jacket.
You have a white jacket?
Mm-hmm. That's how you know it's science.
I've heard they only give those to real scientists.
There you go.
Well, Bert, it was really nice having you and really nice getting to have these engaging conversations, really intellectual stuff.
I think we learned a lot here today.
I think so,
I know
too.
I did.
Well, we'll be right back after this. Next up, we have the one and the only diva of the athletics team, bringing us the scores and updates on all things athletics. Kaylin. So, Kaylin, what sports will you be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about tennis today.
Ugh, tennis. I hate tennis players.
Why?
They're always causing a racket.
Well, I still think we should talk about them.
Guess I'll need my earplugs for this episode.
Welcome back, Raider fans. From AP tests to games, matches, meets, and the nice weather upon us, this week is shaping up to be a good one. Today, we cover our tennis team. Last night, the boys pulled out a clutch win against Burnsville. Going into the back half of the night, the boys were down 2-3, until senior Charlie Jensen pulled out a clutch win. With the momentum going, Quinton and Fisher both won their matches, securing the 4-3 dub. The team has 3 other matches this week, tonight at Hill Murray, Thursday at North St. Paul, and Friday at Rosemount. With some big wins on their schedule, the Raiders look to gain some momentum for this week's slate. Senior Charlie Jensen had this to say about the team. There's a bright future for this team. We have a lot of sophomores playing varsity. We're going to be good for years to come. The top 3 consists of none other than the team captains, senior Charlie Jensen and Ben Rudy, and in the number 1 spot, sophomore Micah Slapitcher. Next week, we cover our golf team. With some standout talent, both the boys and girls teams look to capitalize on their seasons.
No introduction needed for your lovely host. I'll be the one telling you all about academics. Make sure to keep up with your friends, because I sure know a couple people who have been quite stressed preparing for these upcoming AP tests. Now, I don't really understand how a test on a legume could be that hard, but I've been supporting them anyway. On Saturday News, we'll be talking about the retirement of the beloved teacher, Miss Jean Lindberg, one of our main math teachers.
Today's episode takes us up to 3A, the Math Pod. Our honors algebra and geometry teacher, Jean Lindberg, is going into retirement. She taught at the middle school for 16 years and transferred to this school last year. So let's learn about what she likes most about Hastings and what she plans to do after retirement.
Well, my plan is to do a lot of camping, maybe do some kayaking, some rivers, and do a little bit more traveling. Trying to get out and do all those things that are physical before I get too old that I won't be able to do them anymore. So I taught at the middle school from 2006 until a couple years ago, so it was 16 years there, and then previously I actually taught for another 17 years right across the river in Cottage Grove. I actually grew up in the community, and I think there's a beauty about being a river town and having the rivers and all the different walkways and everyone biking outside. And I love just the feeling that you get with your students and the connection you get with their parents. And it's just a really neat connection that kids and staff have.
Coming up next, we have our second special guest, one of our many math teachers, the lovely Mr. Paul Olson. So, Mr. Olson, tell me about this AP class you teach.
That's right, it's coming back to me. Advanced placement. Yep, advanced placement statistics. I do teach that.
It's all just nonsense?
Mostly, besides this test at the end of the year. But it's usually followed by like frustration or negative comments.
Yeah, a lot of people complain.
I think Lutz brings them to his house and then they do yard work.
They do yard work?
That's what I've heard. I try not to do a lot of physical effort things. You know, I think I would quit as soon as I just heard Mr. Lutz. That would be my line.
So you said earlier you teach a class called AP Stats. So it's all about statistics?
That covers it.
So you're really smart with statistics, I'm assuming.
Well, the coolest part about stats is that they pay me not to be right. In fact, I think it's 87% of statistics are made up on the spot.
So how many of your facts are made up? If I were to flip a coin, it would be 50-50 on which face it would land on.
Correct.
So if I were to gamble $50, I would get back $50.
What?
Well, it's 50-50. So if I were to gamble $50, I would then come out with $50.
you would fit right in with some of the boys that I have in my class.
Mr. Schultz and Mr. Colvin were to find a box of donuts. Statistically, who would eat more? And statistically, who would feel more shame?
You know, so this is one of those prompts that I feel like isn't thought about maybe enough as it should be.
Yeah.
So the amount of shame that they're entering the building is a little bit dependent on how much shame they would feel after the box.
Yeah.
And then there's a cap on that amount of shame. You know, so if they've already felt enough shame for the day, eating a box of donuts doesn't add to the shame. You see where I'm going with this?
I do, but I don't really think Colvin has a limiter on his shame.
Now there's a whole other variable. My mind is blown. I'm gonna have to rethink a lot of how I teach.
Well, thank you so much for coming, Mr. Olson. We'll be right back.
Hello Raiders, just a reminder that AP tests start up this week. Here are a few things that you can do to prepare for these tests. 1, you can check in on Heimler's history for live studying streams and study videos. 2, you can practice your College Board tests and relax, drink water, and sleep. Also, make sure you eat breakfast the morning of your AP tests. Last-minute tutoring and study groups with some friends will be great for studying. Last mission, feel free to reach out to any teachers for any extra support. Good luck, Raiders.
For our last correspondent, we have the spectacular Ellie Rother, who's going to give us all the info on our lovely Hastings community and all the things going on inside of it. So Ellie, what do you have to tell us?
First, I have to ask you a question.
What's the question?
100 men versus a gorilla.
Easily 100 men. They would tire of that gorilla immediately.
I agree. Now, if we were to switch the input a little bit, say 100 eerily smart toddlers versus Mr. Warren.
Versus Mr. Warren. Well, Mr. Warren is pretty smart, but they're eerily intelligent toddlers, and there's 100 of them. I think they might annihilate him.
Now, 100 goldfish versus Schulte.
Well, knowing what happened to his goldfish, I think he would destroy all 100 goldfish in record time, probably.
Record time. Have you seen the way his tank looked?
Not good.
It's not good. Let's say 100 donuts versus Colvin.
Oh, Colvin would win. Instantly.
100%.
Those donuts wouldn't stand a chance. Thanks again to you all for tuning in once again to Sebastian Castle Live. Make sure to tune in next week where we'll have a talking stone interviewed on the next episode.
It's a person. He's a person.
No, it's a rock.
He's a person.
It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, it's a person.
Coming in live today, we have a special guest, Mr. Robert Caperson.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So,
And I act dumb.
well,
I can do that.
I don't know if you need to act.
Am I supposed to sit as far away from him as possible?
You're totally fine with that. Pause.
This is gold. How can you
This is-
pause?
Hold on.